Welcome to the Brand TDM Travel Show. Today's guest is Deepak Ohri, founder and CEO of luxury Atelier Maison Happiness and LAMH Management Asia. Deepak.
Nice meeting you, Gary.
Welcome, and thank you very much for joining.
An honor to be on TD show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Deepak, you're best known for your role as Chief Executive Officer at the legendary Le Bourg Hotels and Resorts, a role that spans something like nearly 21 years, I understand, until recently, where you founded this particular business, which we'll talk about today. Under your leadership with your previous company, you have achieved multiple notable milestones. I read your bio yesterday, and I must say I was going to mention a couple of those milestones, but it was 3 pages of awards and accolades, so we may or may not touch on that, but congratulations on all that. That's quite an achievement.
So Gary, I will come to that. I know you want to say a few more things. So people take me as the ex-CEO of Le Bourg, who has been there for 20 years, started the company from nothing but a abandoned building and creating that into a landmark. But if you ask me my 3 accomplishments, and at Le Bourg in 21 years, I've been able to do 3 things very well. And in life, quality is what matters, not the quantity. So what I have been able to do is create the experiences that are unmatched, not only in Asia, but in the world until today. Okay, so we'll talk about 3 things. The first has been a $1 million dinner. Mm-hmm. Before 2007, nobody did it. 17 years later, no one has been able to do it. It is still purely, when you talk about gastronomy, no gold, no diamonds, none of that stuff, it's still the most expensive dinner. It's not about most expensive dinner. It is about an experience that everyone talks about. Second accomplishment there has been doing a marketing collaboration with Warner Brothers for A Hangover Part 2. Mm-hmm. Okay, now everybody says, oh, the movie came, the cast came, or the Hollywood heroes. So, but all these are commitments, but they're not impact. The impact has been a marketing collaboration with the Warner Brothers in 3 countries, and been able to do that in those days. I think we were the first in the world.
Indeed, yeah.
In the hospitality. Yeah. Not to have the movie shot in the hotel, we may be $1 million in that, but to have the marketing collaboration with a production house.
Yeah.
And number 3 has been during COVID, when Harvard Business Publishing put a case study, and that's a great honor because when the professors put it, and they compared our performance with our peers in the world, in Asia and in Thailand, and they said that Deepak Ohri has been instrumental in creating a financial discipline and a higher profitability even during crisis. So for me, if you have to sum it up, these would be my 3 topmost capabilities in my ex-organization. And this gives me the confidence to actually start my organization, because these are timeless things. Indeed. These are things you don't take it from one organization. This is in your DNA. So once you have created the experience, once you have done the marketing collaboration, which is not about doing a marketing collaboration, it is about thinking differently and then creating a financial discipline. So that was led and gave me the confidence to start on my own.
Fantastic. Now tell me a little bit about your book that you wrote. I believe you wrote a book called A Bridge Not Too Far.
Yeah. So I wrote this book, A Bridge Not Too Far. My late father told me that I should write the book, and I started writing this book in 2020. But when I wrote this book, and I will again talk about 3 important elements in everything. When I wrote this book, I had the option to publish this book in India or where I am in Thailand, but I chose US. And why I chose US is because I said, I want to be in a country, or if I have that confidence in me, I believe in myself, that my story should reach across, and let's see how people do it. So 3 things. So when I did my audiobook recording, people told me I should not do my own audio. I should hire an artist to do the audio. I refused, and 2 PR companies fired me just because they thought that the American consumer would not be able to comprehend what I'm saying. because of my accent, or I come from Asia, the clarity of the words or whatever. But to my surprise, my book won the Best Audiobook Award in US. My book became a curriculum in business school. So much so, my book was taken by a firm called Accenture to teach creativity and innovation for a luxury group out of Spain. They're in fashion, they're not in hospitality. So right now in 2024, it is considered to be the topmost luxury brand. So that is the second part of that. The third part is that this book gave me the confidence, because this is what we need. It gave me the confidence that yes, I can be in global arena and compete with best of the best, and I'm still recognized among one of them.
Yeah.
So it is not about what you have done. It is about what is your ability to translate that and make people understand what you have done. And this is what I learned. And when I launched this book in Thailand, in 30 minutes it became the bestseller.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
When you have to connect the dots, you never connect the dots
Yeah.
moving forward. You always connect the dots looking backwards. So I think in hindsight, it was a great decision, though it was very painful to go and launch this book in US, but it has again added to my confidence and gave me a lot of, recognition.
How long did the book take from the time you thought about it to the time you actually published it? And secondly, who are the eyeballs that you're trying to attract to read the book?
Okay. So I think I started writing this book in December 2020, and the book got published. The first day of selling of the book was on 10th January 2023.
Okay.
So you can say almost 2 years, 10 days it took.
Okay.
2 years, 1 month, something like that. Actually 2 years, 10 days it took for the book to be written, published, edited. I did hire a professional editor to edit the book. And the book was a journey of mine, a journey starting from a humble background. And today, when Rob Report in Hong Kong gives me the Luxury Icon Award, it is a recognition that a gentleman who didn't even know what Coca-Cola was has on the stage standing with the people and rubbing shoulders as a luxury icon of the world.
Talk to me a little bit about that story with the Coca-Cola story, which I believe dates back to when you were a youngster, right?
Yeah, so it was when I was 6-year-old, and those days in India, only one road would divide people staying in humble background to those staying in lavish homes. And we were told not to cross the road. Kids are kids, so I crossed the road, and one nice uncle, he took me to his house and gave me Coca-Cola. And that had an ice cube also. And in our home, the only cold water we will have is put in an earthenware bowl, and you take it out from there so the water is cooler. And the only cold drink we would have is that my mother would have a bottle. Only when the guests come home, you put 1 spoon of that, and then you add a sugar and put a water in that. So first time I had a Coca-Cola, I was like, oh my God. And then the gentleman took me to his bedroom. He had an attached bath. I asked him very innocently, or I was too naive, that when you wake up in the morning, do you have to stand in a queue to use this washroom? He said, no, it belongs to me. So I went back to my late father and said, what do I need to do to have a Coca-Cola every day and have a bedroom with the attached bath? So it's not about the bedroom with the attached bath. That day I learned that I have to do things differently so that I don't stand in a queue. Because that day I realized that Deepak Ohri, you have to do something in your life where you don't stand in queue. And until today, I'm thinking differently, creating certain experiences. Sometimes people wonder that, how can you do that?
Yeah. With the book, I always find it fascinating to write down our life on a piece of paper, right? Or in this case, an audio and so forth. Through that process, what did you learn about yourself?
Actually, I learned a new Deepak. Because, sometimes you go through the life, but you don't have time to think about it.
Yeah.
And I learned about the life. And then I realized that I can take more risk, because I've taken so much of risk in the past, and why I'm getting afraid and why I'm getting very comfortable. So I learned a lot about myself while writing the book. That is the first thing you learn. Second thing you learn while writing a book about is the other people. So book is one thing. It's a fact that when you're writing the book, you lose half of your friends. So if you want to lose 50% of your friends, write a book. And when you publish a book, you lose another 10% of your friends. Okay. And if your book becomes successful, in my case, it won a lot of awards and became a bestseller even on Amazon worldwide. You lose remaining 30% of the friends, so I'm left with 10% of friends.
What was the reason for that?
See, if you're successful in your business, people say, okay, fine. He's doing it, he's working in a company. But when you take and that was the reason also for writing a book, when you take something neutral, where many people who have achieved many things, and they write books and their books are not successful, and suddenly you jump in that arena and you become successful, there's a lot of, I won't use the strong word jealousy, but they just don't like it.
Yeah, in Australia we call it the tall poppy syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay, let's move on now to creating luxury experiences, which is probably leading into the business that you're doing now. Can you elaborate more on that?
See, in today's world, people have money. Dubai had money, they did the tallest building. Saudi Arabia has more money than Dubai. In 2 years, their tower, Jeddah Tower, will be much taller than Dubai. So money is competing with money. But what is lacking is, how do people remember and are able to remember something during their travel, something when they're going out, that is an experience. How do they remember that? So not many people are able to create experiences. And everybody thinks you can hire a marketing company, or you hire an ad company, or you hire any of this company and they'll be able to do it. No, in the end, it is the individual you're dealing with, and how much experience that person has in understanding the customer and creating something that will resonate with the world.
Yeah.
And with the person.
And I guess the challenge for those companies, even though they have a desire to create and execute those experiences, is training their staff to have the same vision and follow those experiences, right?
Yeah. So staff, you've said a very thing. We just took a project in Macau, a small project, and that was a 3 months project, but we ended up finishing it in a week's time. So that saved the owner a lot of money. And it was only the staff training issue. Whole revenue in just 1 week increased by 38%. And right now I've been told, it's been 3 to 4 months, right now I've been told that their revenue has gone 80% higher. So it's like consistent. Always the minor things makes the major breakthroughs. Never would a major thing will create a major breakthrough in life. And these minor things, we call it a last mile, or creating that everlasting experiences, or timeless experiences, which will create a moment of truth.
And what is it you'd like to achieve on a personal level?
I think
out of this business?
What I like to achieve on a personal level is what I have been able to do during COVID, a strict financial discipline, higher profitability. And right now what I see post-COVID, that there are many hotels and many restaurant chains are struggling to attain that. I see many luxury brands are not able to connect with the customers. So I think it is a win-win situation. I jump in, I fix this problem, they do well, I do well. So it is a win-win situation. So that's what point number one I want to achieve. Second, what I want to achieve is create experiences in the world so people travel more.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of happiness. So people understand the word happiness. So happiness is not about smiling. Happiness can be at work. Happiness can be in the organization. Happiness can be in your private life. Happiness is everywhere. How do you discover that? So one of the owners asked me a question. So I said, we can increase your revenue. That's not a problem. He said, I can't understand how will you increase our revenue. I said, why? He said, I have a general manager of the hotel. I said, good. He said, I have a CEO of the company. I said, good. And I said, I have an advisor also. If 3 of them cannot do it, how you can do it? So I asked him a question. I said, do you have a car? He said, yes. I said, do you have a driver? He said, yes. And I said, if I tell you to go to this unknown location, how will you reach there? He said, my driver will use the GPS. So I said, fine. And once you reach the destination? He said, once you reach the destination, you'll switch off the GPS. And I said, who will still own the car? He said, me. I said, the driver will work for who? It's me. I said, I'm the GPS. Actually, I'm the GPS in the business. I don't take over your businesses. I take you to your destination, and the car belongs to you, the driver still belongs to you.
Got it.
I'm gone.
I find it really interesting as somebody that speaks to a lot of hoteliers. I always remember going to a sales training or a customer service training session many, many years ago. And like many things, we always pick up small things which are really important and we hold on to those for the rest of our lives. And for me, that was one simple question from the trainer. He said to the audience, you name me one person in the last 90 days that's given you amazing service. And everybody in the room went quiet. And then probably only 10% of the people eventually put their hand up. And then one by one, people spoke about that particular person that had impressed them to the point they remembered it. All right. Now, when I speak to hotels, I do hear a very similar rhetoric where they're all saying very similar things about our people are well trained and they are the best in the industry, etc. But truly, how does a hotelier achieve the holy grail of making sure that when a guest is staying, that they are one of those people that can say, you know what, this particular person or persons at this hotel achieve the holy grail?
A very good question, Gary. So this again comes back to our organization. Happiness is very individual. Okay. Now people ask me that when happiness is very individual, when you enter an organization and you talk to 100 people together, how do you give them happiness? A very valid question. How? You give them a purpose. An organization which gives its people a purpose to serve and why they are doing it, which is with a lot of clarity, you always get a great service because there is a purpose. And if there is no purpose in the organization, you are not able to give it to them, then you have to always count people who have given you good service. So if you ask me how many organizations have given you service, I can answer you that. If you ask me how many individuals have given you service, I can even tell you that. Because for me, as a consultant, the area of opportunity lies when the individuals are giving me better service, not the organizations. And I always learn from places where as an organization, they give a great service. And I would like to say it on the record, my best service in a hotel has been in Napa. If you go to any hotel, so I've been to 2 or 3 hotels.
Napa Valley, California.
Napa Valley
right?
in California. But if you take it as in Europe, I was very impressed with Peninsula London. Mm-hmm. I went there, I stayed at the Peninsula Hotel, London, and I realized, at that point of time, my friend said, you have already resigned from your organization, you're no longer a hotelier, you're not going, nobody's going to recognize you. But at this hotel, of course, they knew who I am, but every guest was getting that level of service.
Yeah.
So I saw that purpose. I saw that people are eager to move forward, to help people. They're not turning their head to the other side that this is not my department. You read about it. It is said in the manuals that you have to do it. This is the part of their whole vision. But you know what? The organizations that has vision, they lose their mission.
Yeah.
And the organization that has mission, they don't have to define the vision. It is seen by the customers.
Yeah. Let's touch on that word privacy, which is really important to some people and less important for others. Just talk to me through your...
So I give you a very good example. So when I go to Asia, sometimes when I go back to my own country, that is in India, but even in Asia, in Bangkok and everything, when I'm meeting someone and I want to talk privately, though I'm not a spy, but still, you know, in your business, you have private moments. I find people are standing and they may be listening to us, but this is what we are getting, right? So I went to Napa and there was a business deal I was doing there. And I just bent over like that to talk to the person. And the server who was there, he just slightly went out, put the glass door and stood outside. So he understood that we wanted a private moment. I was in one hotel and a friend of mine came to see me, and I was talking to him and walking, and the hotel manager was walking from the other side, that is Stanley Ranch Hotel. I can say that proudly. I love their hotels, and they looked at us and just acknowledged from the eyes, didn't come and meet, and went the other side. And while we both were relaxed, the particular person came and said hello to both of us. So they are trained. The third is a Montage Hotel in Laguna. I went there. They even teach their people how should be their pitch of the sound while you're in the corridor. How you should be talking, what noise level it should be there, so it doesn't disturb the guests, though the rooms are closed and they're inside. But this is the whole thing, and everyone is doing it. So one is the training issue. Second is they understand. Training, you can train the people, but you need to give them a purpose. You need to make them understand why you're doing it. So privacy, I would say, is something, space, is a whole thing. Space, we have, in Asia, we have given a lot of space. We have started doing bigger rooms, but we have not given individuals a space to perform and customers a space to converse. And that is an area of opportunity.
And I guess in the luxury market, the more expensive the hotel, the more that type of discerning customer is going to expect a lot of privacy, right?
Yeah, so when the hotel price is expensive, the customers are expecting the staff to be more expressive.
Okay.
In one line, if I have to define it.
Funniest moment of your life? Talk to me.
The first time I was taking a flight, and I was in economy class, and I was pushing everybody to board the flight because I didn't want anyone to teach me how to fasten the seat belt. I wanted to check how my next person is doing. And even I saw how he did it, I couldn't do it, and he laughed and taught me how to do it. That's the funniest moment of my life.
Wow.
So then that's what, you know what it taught me? That never be shy to ask.
Correct, yeah.
You're not supposed to know everything in life.
Yeah, that is so true. And let's move on now to the toughest moment of your life.
The toughest moment of my life was a decision to leave and start my own company, because it's a brand that you have created, you have worked so hard, and then you're leaving it and putting in someone else's hand, and you're not sure how it will be taken forward. But then the toughest moment is that you leave something, you start something, and how you manage yourself, your own expectation, and the team you hire, how you motivate them and give them a purpose to move forward. So whatever I have been talking, I've been preaching, I've been practicing also.
Yeah. I guess the challenge is for us men, and I learnt this doing recruitment for 18 years of my life, is that us men very much attach ourselves to our job and our title, and becomes very much part of who we are as a person. So how did you handle that and leaving that title behind overall?
Actually, I thought it would be a problem for me, to be very honest. And everybody told me that people won't recognize because the title is gone. But internationally, I'm still very much recognized. I still get a lot of respect. And actually, I'm getting much more respect. For me, I would be in a hotel, I would eat at a restaurant. Today, I take the lunch box from home, and I feel very happy about it. My life has changed. That whole independence that I have, that I'm the master of my own time, and that purpose I have, that I have to work, I have only one complaint. The time is running very fast.
That's for sure. Yeah, and it's all about letting go, isn't it? And that's not always easy. How do you look at life now in 2024?
Very positively. And actually, the world is also looking at life very positively. So I think people are understanding what the whole life is all about, and they're making decisions to improve their life. Some wants to work hybrid, some wants to work from home, some wants to do these things, and I like that because people are speaking up. They want to say that this is how I want to live.
Yeah.
So the life is beautiful.
Fantastic. All right, well, let's finish off on your luxury Atelier Maison Happiness, LAMHasia.com.
Yeah.
Let's just finish up on that note, and what would you like the audience to know about?
I think the audience,
passing comment?
two things. If you want to create a restaurant which is timeless, go to the website, contact me. We'll be there to help you or any of our team members. And second thing, whenever you believe that you want to increase your revenue and profitability, we are there to help you.
Okay.
We are your GPS. The hotel belongs to you, the journal belongs to you. We are not a management company. We are not an asset management company. We come, improve, and we go.
A consulting company?
We are a management, we are a firm,
okay,
which comes and create the luxury experiences, bring you closer to your customer.
And you mentioned restaurant.
Yeah.
It's predominantly focused on restaurants within hotels, or it's both? It
can be standalone or it can be within the hotel, but both the restaurants have to be done differently.
Okay.
You know why? Most of the people, when they open a restaurant in a hotel, they like their restaurants to be standing out. No. The restaurant in a hotel has to blend in with a hotel story, not the interiors, the story of the hotel. How do you blend in with a hotel story? That is where the major disconnect comes, and we come and help that. If you have done that mistake, we know how to correct that. So we bring you closer in both the cases to your customer.
Fantastic.
In one line.
Well, Deepak, welcome to the world of being an entrepreneur.
Thank you, Gary.
I can thoroughly recommend it. It's all I've ever done since I was 26 years of age. So good luck with everything. It's full of highs and lows, but I think at the end of the day, it's well and truly worth it. But thank you for joining the show, and you are certainly most welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you for an honor
keep me posted.
to bring me to the show. Really appreciate. Look forward to staying in touch. Thanks
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.